In one of the most shocking moments of the 2025 MLB season, San Diego Padres bench coach Craig Stammen charged out of the dugout mid-game, directing what multiple reporters near home plate confirmed were insults, including alleged racist language at Shohei Ohtani of the Los Angeles Dodgers. What followed was an eruption that sent both teams spilling onto the field, drew an immediate ejection, and sparked an official MLB investigation. This was not just a heated baseball argument. This was an incident that exposed the emotional breaking point of a team under pressure, and it happened on one of the biggest stages in the National League West. To understand why this moment carried such weight, it is important to understand the context surrounding this matchup. The Dodgers versus Padres rivalry has always been fierce, but heading into this game, the stakes were higher than usual. The NL West title race was at a critical juncture. The Padres had just taken first place from the Dodgers, and Los Angeles desperately needed a win to regain momentum and send a message to the rest of the division. This was not just a regular season contest. Every pitch, every at-bat, every run carried playoff implications. The Padres sent right-hander Griffin Canning to the mound, tasked with holding off a Dodgers lineup that had been finding its rhythm in recent weeks, particularly because of one man, Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani's first at-bat of the game set the tone for everything that followed. The count worked its way to 1-2 and Canning attempted to end the at-bat by throwing a slider outside the strike zone, a pitch designed to exploit a hitter's eagerness and draw a chase. Ohtani did not chase. He read the pitch brilliantly, staying disciplined, and drove it hard to left field for a double. It was the kind of at-bat that reminds every pitcher in the league why facing Ohtani is a different challenge entirely. That double was not just a hit. It extended his hitting streak to 6 consecutive games, a run of form that had the entire baseball world paying close attention. Ohtani stood at second base, composed, locked in, already thinking about what came next. With Ohtani at second base, his base-running instincts immediately came into play. Mookie Betts stepped up and grounded the ball to second base. It was enough. Ohtani read it instantly and advanced to third. Now he stood 90 feet from home plate, and the Padres could feel the pressure closing in. The pitcher, the infield, the entire Padres dugout, all of them knew what was at stake. Then Freeman stepped into the batter's box. Freeman launched a 2-run home run, sending the ball deep and clearing the bases in one swing. The Dodgers led 2-0. The crowd erupted. The Dodgers dugout exploded in celebration. Freeman rounded the bases as his teammates rushed toward home plate to greet him and Ohtani. What should have been a routine moment of celebration between teammates quickly became the flashpoint for one of the most disturbing incidents in recent MLB memory. As Ohtani ran toward home plate and Freeman followed close behind, Craig Stammen stormed out of the Padres dugout. He did not jog out, he charged, moving with the kind of intensity that immediately signaled this was not a standard manager's protest over a call. Stammen headed directly toward Ohtani's running path. Multiple reporters positioned near home plate confirmed that Stammen was shouting insults at Ohtani, including alleged racist language directed specifically at him. The stadium, which had been buzzing with excitement just seconds before, fell into a stunned silence as people processed what they were witnessing. A bench coach had left his dugout mid-game to confront a player, not over a play, not over a call, but seemingly in a personal and deeply offensive manner. Ohtani heard the insults. His facial expression visibly changed. The composed, focused look he carries throughout a game shifted as the words reached him. And then Freeman saw it happen. Freeman, still in the middle of completing his home run trot, witnessed what was unfolding and immediately charged straight at Stammen. Freeman was shouting, "You don't get to say those things to my teammate," as he moved toward the Padres coach. That line captured everything: the fury, the protectiveness, and the moral clarity of a veteran player refusing to let a teammate be degraded without consequence. Dodgers players poured out of the dugout to protect Ohtani. The Padres players rushed to restrain Stammen before the confrontation could escalate into a full bench-clearing brawl. Umpires intervened, and Stammen was immediately ejected from the game. Even while being walked off the field, Stammen continued shouting toward the Dodgers dugout, making it clear that his emotions were still completely uncontrolled. What made the incident so significant was not just the ejection itself, but what it revealed about the state of a Padres team that had been under mounting pressure. Stammen is not a young, hot-headed player. He is an experienced bench coach, someone whose job is to remain composed and help manage the emotional temperature of a ball club. The fact that he crossed this line in this manner raised immediate and serious questions about conduct, accountability, and the culture within the organization. After the final out, the post-game interviews only deepened the weight of what had occurred. Freeman sat down with reporters, still visibly furious, his jaw tight, his words deliberate. "I've never seen something like that on a baseball field. We compete through performance, not by insulting others." It was a direct, unambiguous statement from a player who has been in this league for well over a decade and clearly felt that a fundamental line had been crossed. Freeman did not soften his words, did not deflect, and did not speak in the careful language athletes sometimes use to avoid controversy. He said exactly what he felt. Shohei Ohtani, by contrast, spoke with the calm and composure that has come to define his public presence throughout his MLB career. "I want to focus on the game and my teammates, but every player deserves respect." Those two responses, Freeman's fury and Ohtani's composure, painted a picture of a Dodgers team with genuine chemistry and character. one player speaking with passion on behalf of his teammate, and the other responding with the quiet dignity that has made him one of the most respected athletes on the planet. The baseball world did not wait long to weigh in. ESPN analyst Jeff Passan addressed the incident directly, highlighting the serious precedent set by a coach physically charging toward a player in the middle of a game. Passan noted the danger of a coach storming the field mid-game, particularly when the motivation appeared to be personal and potentially discriminatory rather than a disagreement over a call or a play. MLB officially opened an investigation into the incident, and the league made clear that if the allegations of racist language were confirmed, the disciplinary response would be significant. Potential consequences on the table included heavy fines and a multi-game suspension for Stammen. The broader conversation that emerged touched on the emotional limits of professional sports, the specific responsibility that coaches carry as leaders within their organizations, and MLB's duty to protect its players, particularly international stars like Ohtani, who represent the global growth of the sport. To fully understand why this incident resonated so deeply, it helps to zoom out and look at where Ohtani has been this season and what his current form represents. The 2025 season did not start the way Ohtani or the Dodgers had hoped on the offensive side. His batting average dropped below .200 in the early weeks, and questions began to circulate about whether something was mechanically or physically off. The slump was real and the concern was legitimate. Then Dodgers manager Dave Roberts made a calculated decision. He rested Ohtani for 2 games during the Giants series, giving his star player a physical and mental reset. The impact was immediate and dramatic. Following that rest, Ohtani went on an extended run of offensive dominance, posting a .470 average, collecting 8 hits in 17 at-bats across his last 4 games. Home runs, doubles, triples, his complete offensive arsenal was back and operating at full power. The mechanical fix that unlocked this run was specific: better body balance throughout his swing and a conscious effort to stop lunging at breaking balls outside the strike zone, exactly the kind of pitch that pitchers like Canning had tried to exploit. Ohtani himself described his renewed approach in direct terms: attack pitches in the strike zone, maintain solid contact, and launch angle. That philosophy, applied consistently, had transformed him from a struggling hitter into one of the hottest bats in the league. His season numbers as of May 18 reflect the totality of his impact. Across 46 games, Ohtani had accumulated 7 home runs, 24 RBIs, 30 runs scored, and a .850 OPS. Those are numbers that put him firmly in the conversation for the league's elite offensive performers, and they do not even account for what he has been doing on the mound. Because Shohei Ohtani is not just a hitter. He is a two-way player, and his pitching in 2025 has been nothing short of exceptional. Across 7 appearances, Ohtani carries a 3.2 record and a sub-1 ERA, a number that for any starting pitcher in the league would be considered elite. He has recorded 50 strikeouts, relying on a devastating arsenal that includes a sinking splitter, a sharp sweeper, and a high-velocity fastball that he commands with precision. The combination of his 3 pitches makes him extraordinarily difficult to square up, and opposing lineups have had no consistent answer. Because of these numbers, both at the plate and on the mound, the conversation among analysts has moved beyond regular awards talk. There is genuine, data-supported discussion about Ohtani competing for both the MVP and the Cy Young Award in the same season, which would be an unprecedented achievement in the modern era of baseball. Looking at the full picture, the NL West standings, Ohtani's resurgence, the Freeman home run, and the Stammen incident, what emerges is a story with multiple layers. The NL West title race is on a razor's edge. Padres had taken first place, the Dodgers needed that win, and both teams understood the divisional implications of every game. On the field, the Dodgers won that battle, but the confrontation that followed the Freeman home run introduced a dimension that went far beyond baseball. When a coach leaves the dugout to direct what are alleged to be racist insults at one of the sport's most celebrated international stars, it does not just affect the scoreboard, it affects the culture of the game. The Dodgers, rather than being rattled, appeared to respond with unity. Freeman's immediate and vocal defense of Ohtani, backed by an entire dugout rushing to his side, sent a clear message about how this team operates. And Ohtani's own steady response, calm, measured, focused, sent an equally clear message about his character. The Padres, meanwhile, face a more complicated situation. Whatever the outcome of the MLB investigation, the image of their bench coach charging the field and shouting at Ohtani is now part of the public record. If the racist language allegations are confirmed, the reputational damage will extend well beyond a fine or a suspension. It raises questions about organizational culture, about leadership, and about what happens when a team under pressure allows its frustration to boil over in the worst possible way. The Dodgers, with Ohtani pitching and hitting at this level, are not a team that is going to slow down. And with this incident now serving as a rallying point, the motivation within that clubhouse has only intensified.